I'm so happy glowy makeup looks are in right now because it's early September, my cat looks like a clock in a Salvador Dali painting, and I can't run the AC because it's in the same room that I film in. Welcome back, gentlefolk and rapscallions of all persuasions. Raise your hand if your feed has been completely hijacked by Taylor Swift all week. Like, even if you haven't listened to her since high school, she's everywhere right now. And it got me thinking. Taylor Swift and Brandon Sanderson both have these massive bodies of work that span about 20 years at this point. But the difference is Taylor is the cultural zeitgeist. Everyone knows her name. Meanwhile, Sanderson, even with some of the most successful crowdfunding campaigns of all time, I still run into readers who are like, wait, who? You know Wheel of Time? Yeah, he's the guy who finished it after Robert Jordan passed. Oh, that guy! Yeah, that guy, the one with the bibliography longer than your TBR pile. And here's another thing that Taylor and Brandon have in common, besides the fandoms referring to both of them by first names. Despite being wildly successful in their fields, both of them feel weirdly approachable. Taylor has built this down-to-earth, relatable persona where fans feel like she's letting them in on her secrets through her lyrics and Easter eggs. It makes people feel like they're part of her story. Brandon does the same thing in his own way. He's a New York Times best-selling author, the face of record-breaking Kickstarters, and yet he still shows up to signings and live streams in a geeky t-shirt and a blazer like your friendly neighborhood English professor. He'll answer a Q&A while playing Hades or joke about memes, and it feels less like a celebrity on a pedestal and more like a nerd who genuinely wants to share stories with you. That combination, massive success and genuine relatability, is what makes both Swifties and Sanderfans so fiercely loyal. We don't just consume their work, we feel connected to them as people. Now, confession time, I am not a Swiftie. I listened to her self-titled album in high school because I was 15 at the time, and honestly, I was basically exclusively listening to the songs on the new country radio stations. But around 2012, she kind of slipped off my radar right as she was shifting into pop. Then 2015 rolls around and my roommate's like, yo, Taylor just dropped a banger of a single, and it was the remix of Bad Blood. I went back and listened to Red and 1989 to catch up on what I missed in her changing musical style. I listened to Reputation when it came out in 2017, but at that point I had already dumped all my skill points into Brandon Sanderson because that was the year that Oathbringer came out. And let's be honest, with Mistborn Secret History in 2016 and then Oathbringer in 2017, the Cosmere theorizing was getting wild. If you've hung around my channel for any amount of time, you know that making Cosmere connections is kind of my deal. I try to do other stuff, but that's what really gets the views. Fast forward to this week, and this is where things clicked for me. I had no idea how much lore Taylor Swift actually has. Not just in the celebrity backstory sense, but in the fantasy world-building sense. Like, Easter eggs buried in her lyrics, foreshadowing, callbacks, secret references only hardcore fans would notice. I was literally on a panel at Dragonsteel 2024 talking about Brandon's Easter eggs, and I thought we were thorough, but the Swiftie fandom? The way they connect the dots puts us Cosmere theorists to shame. So here's my pitch. If you're deep in Taylor Swift lore and want to channel that same energy into a whole new universe where heartbreak, hope, and heroism collide, you should check out Brandon Sanderson, who, like Swift, has had a style evolution over the years. We even have different eras, and we're heading for a new one right now, so it's the perfect time to catch up. Swifties, Sanderfans, we're the same kind of nerdy detectives. The Cosmere is basically your next great album cycle, but with talking swords and emotional magic. Whether it's decoding Taylor's scarf or Hoyd's letters, we're all just here chasing Easter eggs. I'll drop my recommended reading guide in the pinned comment because, while yes, you can read the Cosmere in almost any order, there is a path that makes the reveals hit harder. Now, please do all those delicious things that feed the almighty algorithm, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!